Turn up.
Good times, good times. There's gonna be good times, good times. I know there's gonna be good times.
Turn up a little more, Shabba. Got X on the bitch with me.
I know there's gonna be good.
We are live, episode 16 of the Odd Bucks podcast. Ryan, Patrick, Riley, Jordan. We are back today talking all Ohio State football. Please follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter at OddBucksPod, TikTok at OddBucks Podcast, and episode going across the screen right now, www.oddbuckspod.com. Maybe Patrick will post a blog on there where you can talk about something. I don't know. We ain't talk about the Super Bowl. We ain't talk about a blog since the Super Bowl. So, maybe the Yankees will make it on our blog. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But like I said, we are talking all Ohio State football. This will be a nice little short and sweet episode. Want to make it get to the point. Ohio State football. Will the Ohio State Buckeyes be the 2022-2023 college football playoff national champions?
Yes. Yes, they will. For 5 reasons, and 5 reasons only. C.J. Stroud. Trayvon Henderson.
Say his name
G.
right if you're going to
Scott.
say it.
Jim
No, he
Knowles.
wasn't talking about him. He's talking about Travion.
Jim Knowles, and Ryan Day. That's why we won the national championship. We were the best team in the nation.
You didn't even
Say
fucking
Jackson.
Jackson Smith
Yeah, I
or
didn't even
Jigba?
talk about Brian Hartline's wide receiver room.
You didn't even talk about Trayvon Henderson. For the Ohio State Buckeyes to have a good year, Trayvon Henderson is gonna have to be him and one of either Mayan or Evan Pryor.
It's gonna be all three of them.
Or
It's gonna
all
be
three of them.
Yeah. Fresh legs. Rotating. Fresh legs.
I feel
First leg, but I need
feel like
Trayvon to get the most carries.
as Ohio State fans, we kind of say this every year going into the year. This is our year. We got the best roster. We got the chance to do it. I really feel like we actually have one of our best rosters in a while.
Let's go, man. That's the optimism I like to see.
I feel like we have, from top to bottom, we're deep at every position. But the only way – you guys saw the stat today that it's been 61 straight games Ohio State has scored 20 or more points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't won a national championship since that, what is the problem? They ain't your offense. It's your defense.
It's that defense.
If you're looking at the schedule, this is probably one of the only years that I'm kind of, I wouldn't say nervous because Notre Dame is Notre Dame, but starting the year off with a top 10, it's like last year. We started off Thursday night against Minnesota and then play Oregon the second game, and our defense looked like dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you start off the year against the top 10, Notre Dame will be arguably a top 5 team, but they'll probably be top 7 probably in the country. With a brand new defense, that's gonna let the whole nation know what we're about defensively. I'm not worried about offense. We're gonna score points. I'm not worried about that. But you can't let Notre Dame score. It can't be a 45-28 type of game or something. Like it's got to be, they can't score more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely completely agree with you. I think our linebackers have been our weakest position on defense the past couple of years. I don't think it's been a cornerback issue. It definitely hasn't been a defensive line issue.
Our DBs were not that great last year or the year before.
Now, do you think? I think it's just a scheme. I think it's just a scheme as a whole. You're not.
Yeah.
I just think the scheme as a whole, like it don't matter what type of offense is being ran. You're running the same defensive scheme. You have corners or secondary on the list or on the field that can't cover man, and you run in man. They can't play zone. You run and the whole fucking world knows what defense you're running. You don't change anything.
Bro, we had Pete Warner against Devontae Smith in the national championship game several times.
Devontae Smith lines up in the slot, and Pete Warner, and no adjustment is made.
Several times. It wasn't like a mishap. Like it was like planned. Like that was part of the game plan.
Bro, he had a career game against us in the first half.
Yeah,
he didn't even need to play in the second half.
That's crazy.
So dumb. So Ryan, what are your? This is a question for everyone. If you could list 5, like how I did, 5 top reasons why Ohio State wins the 2022 college football playoff. Why is it?
CJ Stroud.
That's ridiculous.
I'll be
real.
I'll be serious. I go
Thank
CJ
you,
Stroud. Our defense.
I think our defense has to come out and play with a chip on their shoulder too. Like they got something to prove this year.
Offensive line.
I think. Sorry to cut you off, Riley.
Really, nigga?
I think defensively.
I've got cut off this whole time, so I'm gonna stop talking.
I think defensively though, you have to put your ass. Like I don't care if you have one linebacker on the field, bro. You have to have Our secondary has so many people that are able fast. Like you have to say, you know what? Sorry, but a linebacker can't play. You had to have 5 DBs on the field, like 2 of them in the box or something like that, because I'm not worried about the Big Ten team. I mean, obviously against the team up north, all they did was run the ball. But when you get into them games like Alabama and stuff like that, you have to be able to cover.
Yeah. And with the powerhouse that Alabama is running the ball, you got to have some linebackers that are going to fill that hole, fill that gap, take the hit.
Hold on, I know this is a Ohio State episode. John Wall has just signed with the Clippers.
Holy Jesus.
Breaking news on the podcast. First to hear it.
Per our sources. Yeah. John Wall.
From Ballsack Sports.
Per our sources.
Odd Buck sources.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adam Woj is under contract right now. Odd Bucks.
But no, I'd say obviously you got to go CJ Stroud. I think you have to go a wide receiver room. I think people are expecting Jackson Smith and Jig, but it's catch for 350 yards a game. That's obviously not realistic. I think he'll have a great year, but you got to have other guys in that room step up. I think like Riley said, the defense has to be. I think it's not going to be Jim Knowles. I think Jim Knowles is everybody knows. Like he's a good coach. He had a top 5 defense in the country last year. It needs to be them guys on the field. I mean, you can be put in the right spot. The whole game is you got to go out there and make plays. We haven't been silver. As well. Yeah, we haven't. I think the adjustment side he'll be able to control, but
yeah,
the silver bullet's got to be the silver bullets. I think the running back room, and I probably put Ryan Day at the top because he's had some games in the past where he calls like some dumb shit, like those big type of games offensively. For example, Michigan last year, like he was calling some stupid ass plays.
Yeah. Even against Oregon, I mean, we didn't run the ball, right? Like
I don't understand. We had Travion was going crazy, and then for a span of 4 or 5 games,
he barely got the ball.
Yeah, right. He got like 8 touches. It was just
he gets pass happy. That's what happens. He gets very pass happy, or he runs the ball,
which is easy to do with CJ Stroud as your quarterback.
Yeah, but then he also will run the ball at the dumbest times.
Yeah.
So I think he's got to be the lead horse.
and just like simple ass adjustments, like against Michigan.
So here's well, actually I want to hear Riley's top 5 reasons, and I'll ask the question.
Yeah, Riley only got through 3 of them before he was rudely interrupted.
I said CJ Stroud, the defense, the offensive line, the 3-headed monster that they're supposed to be talking about at running back,
And wide
and
receiver.
I say CJ ties in with the receivers, so I'm gonna say Noah Ruggles. He was a dog last year, and he didn't be a dog again.
You know what I think? You know what I think that we haven't hit on that we actually are missing out on is what's the one position besides cornerback? Because I think Denzel Burke can be as dominant as anybody that we've had in the past.
Cam Brown is a dog too.
Yeah. Him coming back was huge as a 5th-year guy.
And I think our safety room is crazy.
Oh, a safety room, Rocket, Josh Proctor's back, Tanner McAllister, Latham. He's gonna be straight for the season,
Sonny
right?
Hickman, Sonny Styles. We got
Sonny Styles, Cam Martinez.
Yeah, we got bodies.
And last year our kickoff unit was awful. Teams got such good starting position.
Yeah. You got to put all of them on it. You got to put all of them on the kickoff team and just say run.
Yeah.
But no, the one position that has been, we're starting to transition to we're wide receiver but people have started to kind of forget these past 1 or 2 years that we're defensive line university too.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't had, really that dominant D lineman that
since Chase Young.
We've had these guys that have all this potential. We've been getting the top, JT, no fault to him. He's still young. Jack Sawyer, they're young, but like this year you have to, I'm sorry, Zach Harrison, Zach Harrison, I know you came back. You've had your chance. To me, you're just not that guy. Hopefully you prove me wrong, but I feel like
some people have him as a top 10 pick. I don't.
Yeah, off potential. I've potential.
Yeah,
yes, he's a
but
freak.
When does potential run out?
I know. When does that potential have to actually turn into play?
But we have seen previews of that potential come to fruition. I think this year is going to be his breakout year, where I think he's going to take on this captain role. Because this is going to be my question, to you guys. Do we have a defensive captain? Years past, I can name some defensive captains. Do we have a defensive captain, a defensive takeover guy on our starting defense? I think the two guys I can think of are so 3: Cameron Brown, Steele Chambers, and Zach Harrison.
Yeah, but the fact that your former running back is your defensive captain, I understand him as a captain, but I personally look as captain as that.
I think it's Ronnie.
Yeah, Rocket.
You think it's Ronnie Hickman? Yeah.
He's a dog. He's everywhere.
He is a dog. He's a dog.
Josh Proctor's back too. People forget Josh Proctor.
Josh Proctor, yeah.
When Cam Brown got up ready to fight Michigan, I was like, he's got that dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick only saying that because he tried to fight 17 O-linemen.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say he's.
Yeah, and nobody else
in that conversation. Only just because he fought.
It's because
he brings a fire. And
yeah, it's easy to bring the fire when we get our ass kicked.
It wasn't on him.
No, of course not. He don't play in the box.
But
Haskell the rascal was getting moved around like he was. Embarrassing. What a embarrassing defensive line show. I think Rocket could be your defensive captain, but you have to have for me, I'm traditional when it comes to defense. Your linebacker has to be like, you have to have a linebacker that like takes over.
That's what Ohio State used to be known. That's where silver bullets came
From was our linebacking core.
When's the last
Is Ryan Shazier our last like
Darren Lee.
Darren Lee?
Darren Lee. Yeah.
We had Raekwon McMillan was a dog.
Yeah, but he was
Raekwon
Jerome
McMillan,
Baker.
too.
Jerome Baker. That's the
Jerome
last
Baker.
one.
But
Darren
Ryan
Lee was
Baker
before
was the last one.
Darren Lee was after Jam.
Darren Lee was the national championship team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was.
But then the
I'd
last
say like
captain,
2017, 2018 is probably like our last year we've had like a dog linebacker.
and then our last captain. And then Jordan Fuller was after that, right? He was 19 because he was basically our defensive captain. Were they on the same team?
Why are you talking about Jordan Fuller?
No, I'm just
Jordan
saying
Fuller.
that's when it transitioned to like the linebackers not being like our cap. Like you can't really name like Jordan Fuller was a captain after that. You can't really name like a dog
Talking
line.
about captains, I thought we were just talking about like good ass.
No, I know.
When I
dog
say captain, I
linebackers.
was just talking about like a defensive takeover guy, like
Yeah.
like going to be a captain on the field,
Yeah.
defensively. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about actual like captain.
Yeah.
I want another Malik Hooker. Just a fucking ball hawk back there.
I think we have one in Josh Proctor. He man,
Yeah, I think.
No, Malik Hooker was crazy. He had to pick like every game.
It was crazy. You could not beat that man over the top.
no, never. He come out of nowhere, all the
Mhm.
time.
You remember that interception he had against Clemson?
Watson rolls, looking downfield for Renfro. Intercepted. Malik Hooker, the All-American safety with his 4th of the season.
What do you guys think? I know we're talking about why Ohio State would win the national championship. What do you think on the opposite side? What do you think could hold them back?
One of them stupid ass losses we have to Purdue or something. Or, I mean, obviously our defense is always going to be a question today. You know,
I think they go undefeated. I think what might hold them back is having to play like Georgia or Bama in the first round, and they're just maybe not as good as they thought they were.
Which I actually agree with Riley on that. I can't wait to see us get punched in the face and see how we react. Because last year, it seemed like we got punched in the face and kind of faded away. I mean, not C.J. Stroud on the offense, but the defense. You know what I mean?
I want to see our defense have a bend but don't break attitude, because last year we had a
Exactly.
break attitude.
Exactly.
I just see that.
Our
So
defense
I
is
just
our
want
biggest
like
question.
when you look at Georgia, bro, they just fight to the ball. Like I just like not play.
Yeah, but that was,
robotics.
but that was also to their credit. That was
also
probably
greatest college
the best football defense of all time.
No, I'm just saying like in general how they flew to.
Yeah,
the
but we
play.
still need
No, yeah,
guys to play because
Yeah,
that was
that's
crazy.
how they.
Yeah.
That's how they play. But what did they have?
It's
How many
that type
people
of
did they have
mentality,
drafted in the
that
first
dog
round?
mentality.
From that, I think
From that defense.
Six.
six. I think it was six. And they're going
And
to
then
have, I think, 2 or 3 more next year. So 9 from one defense drafted in the first round.
Wasn't their safety like one of the first picks of the second round too?
Yeah.
No, their safety was talking about Lewison. He was the one of the last picks of the first round.
What's his name? The linebacker went. Jacoby Dean went second round, right?
He fell to the
Third.
I thought they had some guy go super early. Oh, I could be wrong. Still, that was a
Yeah,
retarded
James Cook went right off the board, right? In the second round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to the Bills.
But you know what I think? What people, I know this is Ohio State, but what people don't realize is Alabama still has one guy on their defense that can literally take over an entire game.
The DM.
No, they have the best.
They have the best defensive player in college.
I think he might be the best player in college football.
He
Will
is.
Anderson?
Yeah. Well,
What
first
do you
of
have,
all,
like 19?
why are you coming back? Go to the league. You don't need to come back.
He couldn't.
I know. I didn't realize he was only a sophomore. He's fucking ginormous.
Mm-hmm.
He had to come back.
I know. After I was like, why is he coming back? And I'm like, fucking.
Did
Bro,
you see? I forget who posted it, but it was talking about if the NFL had NBA like rules, and you could. So they changed the top 10 draft would have been this year, and it had like CJ going second, Will
Oh
Anderson going
yeah.
first. Yeah,
Well, what do you guys think now? Like the kids we've been recruiting hasn't been like we still have top recruiting classes. We still are bringing dogs in. Defensively, do you think it's not? Do you think it's the kids that are coming in, or you think it's the coaching?
Coaching.
You think just is they don't
I mean, I don't understand your question.
like I'm saying? Do you like not necessarily like
I don't
like
think
that
they're
game against
developing them.
you don't think they're developed like that game against Utah? Like yeah, the first half, but I'm like it came down to an effort thing too. Like there were times where we were there, like the kids were there, and they weren't making the plays, and there's times like that throughout the year that happened. But do you think it's because the coaches aren't demanding enough from them? Like, do you think it's
I think it was both. I think the coaches and also the players, some of the players just didn't have enough heart. Like if you look at some of the linebacking plays, like some of the plays that Taraji Mitchell last year, like he's a dog and he can play, but like some of the plays, like that man was not moving.
he's just not fast? He's just not fast enough.
Yeah.
I think
But it
I honestly think it's a molding thing too. For some reason, Alabama, Georgia, SEC, most of the SEC, they just mold players so like vicious to where they're flying towards the ball. And like I'm not saying Ohio State doesn't have that, but they definitely do lack that at times. It's like again during the Utah game. Sure, we're playing for the Rose Bowl, we're not in the college football playoff. It doesn't matter. Like that dog mentality still has to be there.
I still think
comes-
some of that is scheming and coaching, like having your guys be like too robotic.
maybe they just had better players.
Yeah, and I think it just comes down to like, look who. I mean, no knock to our linebackers, but we had people playing linebacker that aren't act like we had fucking tight end playing linebacker in the Rose Bowl, and
That's
Cade
true.
Stover was better than.
Look at our linebacking core compared to Georgia and Bama's linebacking core last year.
Yeah.
Like it's different
Makes me
being
wonder
able to.
why.
Like it's different playing linebacker. Okay, you played both ways in high school, but you're better offensively. But you played linebacker in high school because you were better than everybody. To actually being a college football linebacker.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
wonder
probably
why-
hit just as hard as, but they're also running 4.4s.
Right.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's kind of surprising though. Like I mean, I guess it's not surprising, but why do those teams continuously have the best linebackers in the nation? Why don't they come to an Ohio State? But then you can say the same about like the wide receiver room that we have. Why do the wide receiver rooms like continuously be great at Ohio State?
Maybe maybe it's their linebacking coach. Maybe they just have the best linebacking coach in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So like the best receiving coach in the country.
Ain't that Noah's like specialty? Wasn't he originally a linebacker coach?
He is our linebackers coach.
He is our linebacker coach. Yeah.
Who? Jim Knowles?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man,
I
I'm
just
so
think-
excited to watch our defense play. I'm so excited.
What's the freshman linebacker?
CJ Hicks.
Jay Hicks,
Yeah.
the 5-star.
I don't care
He's a dog.
how undeveloped he is. I'd rather have him. I'd rather Jim Knowles say
He's skinny.
he flies
He is.
around though.
Yeah, but like
I'd rather
need
Jim
him-
Knowles put his
I need him
undeveloped
flying
ass.
around at 20 more pounds heavier.
No, I'd rather have Jim Knowles put his undeveloped ass in there and say, "Find the ball." That's all you got to do.
Fact.
See ball, hit ball, brother.
Defense is
Let's
a
talk
very.
about the
But one more thing,
Go
I
ahead.
think defenses come to the fact like the way these offenses are structured nowadays is making defensive coordinators and stuff forget the true fundamental of defense is very easy, kind of not easy. I mean, now it's you covering a lot more stuff, but the fundamentals of defense are just fly the fuck around and hit everything.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee no matter how many good an offense is, if I'm getting hit every single play as hard as these people are hitting me and they're flying around, it's going to demoralize an offense throughout the game. Like it ain't, you're not just running free. Like if you're running drag routes across the field and linebackers are sitting there waiting for you to take your head off, because in college football that's allowed. You can hit people down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Just think it's a mentality thing. Like Mike Tomlin says, the standard is the standard. We got to bring the standard back to the silver
Remember
bullets.
the drag out practice? I got
Cracked.
was
Like, what the fuck? You think? I didn't even know you was allowed to do that. But that's how it is. If you run it and you're not looking, you should be on your ass.
Teach them guys that. Let's talk about the schedule real quick. Predictions.
If they want a national
Don't say
championship,
perfect record because what do we actually think?
We have to go undefeated.
yeah, if they want a national championship, they can't lose.
What's the worrisome game? Number one worrisome game.
Michigan. Michigan. Only game I'm worried about.
I ain't worried about them bum ass. I ain't worried about them bums.
Ain't worried about no bum at Wisconsin. Ain't worried about no bum at Iowa. Ain't worried about no bum at Michigan State. Ain't worried about no bum at Penn State.
I'd be more worried about Wisconsin the fourth
Arkansas
game of the
State. Ain't worried about bum Notre Dame.
I'd be more worried about Wisconsin the fourth game of the year than Michigan the last game of the year.
On top of that, I'd be more worried about the Michigan State game than either Wisconsin or Michigan. Hey, don't be. Hey,
I don't remember what we did to Michigan State last year.
We almost beat Michigan State by 70 last year.
I'm telling you.
And who do they have now?
Me a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, huh?
Why? They lost Kenneth Walker.
They have hopefully they added somebody to their secondary, but they had the worst secondary in college football.
I think what's the saying? Every bone at some point.
Huh?
Something like
That's
that.
Jordan with another bad take.
Every blind dog gets a bone. I don't know what the saying is, but I'm just saying I'm worried about that game. I'm worried.
Every blind dog gets a nut.
Every
blind squirrel, you idiot.
Every blind squirrel gets a nut. Every blind squirrel gets a nut. Every blind dog gets a bone.
We cut the last minute.
I'm not gonna lie. I worry about every fucking game.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, we know.
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs! You worry about practice.
I'm happy Penn State isn't the whiteout.
I like the mentality going in. I
was going to say, but you're not worried about Penn State at Penn State?
Penn State's our only away game.
And they're not doing the whiteout against us.
Game.
Guys, we have 4 away games. One of them is Penn State.
And Michigan State's an away game.
I'm not worried about them bozos.
Hey,
their stadium holds like 42,000 people.
You can pin it right now.
We'll
beat Michigan State by 40.
I'm always worried about Penn State at Penn State.
Yeah, but it's not the night.
What'd Dirk say?
It's not a night game.
Doesn't matter. That stadium still gets shit's still gonna be out of control.
During the day, we're beating them by 30.
Yeah, they already announced it. We're the Fox Noon kickoff. The Minnesota is the whiteout.
Oh, we're beating them by 30. Beating them by 30.
Minnesota or Wisconsin is their whiteout game.
But Wisconsin doesn't matter.
We didn't even beat them. We didn't even beat them.
I'd be scared.
We didn't even beat them convincingly last year at our night game.
Yeah, but
that game was fucking stressful.
It wasn't raining.
It was snowing, and I mean, still, Stroud was.
We were wearing shorts.
It rained that game.
That's an Ohio thing to do. Just wear shorts.
You were drunk, Ryan. It rained.
Okay, not the whole game.
We never said it rained the whole game.
Yeah, but if we can't convincingly beat Penn State at home in our readout, which we never do.
We never convincingly.
We never have a readout, so the jitters. It was a night game, and it was Halloween weekend.
Yeah, and they played scary.
It'll be straight.
It's always a close game every year.
Yeah, so I don't know what is in y'all mind that you think we're beating them by
noon. So I'm telling you,
who did
we win in every game by 30.
Who's their quarterback?
We beat Michigan by 30. We beat Bama by 30 in the national championship. Mark it right now. Put $1 million on Ohio State Buckeyes right now.
Tell Mike Allison we need that meal. We put it on the Buckeyes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's tell the folks at home what our parlay is.
What?
With that being said, we out.
Tryna pull up my shot, bro. Got Allison and bitch with me.